What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sales Athlete Podcast. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you for your patience. It's been a little bit, but we're going to be ramping up our episodes and you're going to be getting some fire content to help you succeed in sales. My name's Ryan Groth. I'm your host, and this podcast is specifically devoted to sales professionals or people in leading sales that want to grow sales, especially in the contracting sector. So I'll be interviewing folks that are doing some cool stuff that I think you guys would benefit from hearing their story, their content, their best practices, and we're going to get right into it. So I got Nate Adame. What's up, dog?
What's going on, Ryan?
Good to see you, man. Welcome to the podcast, and I'm glad you taken the time to connect. So you are a service account manager over at Chamberlin, a very prominent primarily Houston-based roofing contractor. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, we're more predominant here in Houston, but we have satellite locations out in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. We're in Rio Grande now, just growing.
You guys are part of it. It's like it's nine figures, so 150 plus million, I think, a year in revenue, more or less. I think that's where you guys are.
Correct.
Awesome. Yeah. So one of the big players in Texas. Nate, let everybody know who you are, what your background was, and kind of that sales journey of coming from where you were into now where you are today, which hasn't been that long because you're a young buck. So
Nope.
let's hear it.
Nope. I'm still fresh blood. My name's Nate. I'm from Dallas. Moved to Houston about 15 years ago now. 26 years old. Got a beautiful family, house, 2 kids. And the way I got into roofing was not intentional, but definitely not by mistake either. Kind of just fell in my lap and kind of just riding it through. The way this worked was January 2021. This was post-COVID. First week of my second year at University of Houston, I had transferred from a community college. Online classes were still a thing post-COVID.
Yeah.
So I dropped out, couldn't do it anymore. My parents were pissed.
And you're a UH, you already got your associates. You're like,
Yeah, no, they were like, "What the heck are you doing?" And so I was just focusing on work. I was working at Costco at the time, and I was working the morning shift, doing the stocking. Moved out of my parents' house pretty shortly after I dropped out.
yeah, they're
I
like,
was
yeah,
on
you're
my
on your
own.
own, bro. We're not
Yeah, on
supporting
my own.
your decisions, bud.
Basically, tough love. They more or less was like, "Hey, if you're not going to school, get the heck out." So was on my own. I made decent money for my age at that time. I was 21, 22. But I knew I wanted more to live comfortably. And, I'm not a frugal guy, but I'm resourceful and I can understand that it's smart to kind of stack some of your money and not live check to check. So I was looking for part-time opportunities, and my previous employer, I've kind of grew up with that company. My mom's been with that company for since 2014. So I was kind of grew up with that company, and in between semesters would just do some, part-time stuff, nothing too crazy during the summers. So I reached out to them and was like, "Hey, do you guys have any part-time things for me?" And they interviewed me for a residential re-roof sales guy. And I'm like, "Nope, can't do that. I actually need to make money, funny enough." And yeah. And, they're like, "Okay, well, we have canvasser." So I entertained it a little bit. And a few days later, I still remember it very vividly. I got the offer letter when I was on my break when I was working at Costco, and I was looking at it and I was like, "Man, like, that's cool. I guess I'll think about it." Didn't think much of it, kind of continued on with my shift. And then later that day, Libby called me, my former boss, and she said, "Hey, a hailstorm just happened in Dallas." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "We need you in Dallas." I'm like, "Okay." I haven't even signed the offer letter yet.
Livy, dude, going for the close. Love that. Way to go,
Yeah,
Livy.
no, like, I haven't even signed the offer letter, and I'm like, "Okay." I hanged up, and I just had this strong feeling like, hey, like, something was just, like, telling me, "Just go, like, just see what this is about, and if it fails and you fall on your face, like, at least you tried, right? Like, whatever." And so, talked to my supervisor, I'm like, "Hey, can I have 3 days off, please?" And that was fighting tooth and nail, and I'm looking back on it, like, getting 3 days off, no pay guaranteed was, like, at that age, just moved out, was, like, not really a possibility for me. I did it, felt good about it, went
Love that.
later that night, packed my bag, and went straight to Dallas. And the next day, I walked into an office full of sales guys. They're all role playing and acting like they're knocking on doors. I'm like, what is happening? And so they kind of within the hour taught me how to knock on a door. On my way to the neighborhood, practicing the script, and got a few doors slammed in my face and a lot of doors slammed in my face. In the DFW market, it's another world out there and during a hailstorm. But I figured it out. I think within 3 days, I booked like 40 or 50 inspections for some of the sales guys. And I made in 3 days double what I would have made in 2 weeks at Costco. So I like went back to Houston. I was like, what just happened?
Let's go.
And yeah, like what just happened? And I'm like trying to talk to my family about this and some of my coworkers and my friends are like, dude, you sound crazy, like whatever.
Huh.
And yeah, they're like, you're knocking on doors, like what are you doing? All while still working at Costco. And then so fast forward a few weeks later, I became a residential re-roof sales guy. I did that for about a year and a half. And I think we met later that year when you did the training and then did that for about a year and a half. And then they had another opportunity for me to go over to the service side on the commercial side of the industry and been here ever since. I recently made a move to Chamberlin earlier this year and trying to not restrict myself just to roofing, but doing a lot more waterproofing and just more building envelope stuff, and just trying to be a sponge. And so here I am, almost 4 or 5 years later, and have a house, getting married in March, doing well.
Love it, bro. I love it. That's super fun, man. Different path than your parents thought you would have taken to the US, but better or different or better results and the trajectory. So I love that. That's a fun story. It's like get your days off, go up to Dallas, make more money
Yeah,
than double and you did in 2 weeks, come back, like what just happened? And then, so did you say you actually went through, you said you met me. Did you go through STG's training?
I did. It was
That's
like
sweet.
I think it was around this time in 2021. It was like September or October. I just know it was towards the end of 2021, and that's where we originally met for 3 days. It was like a 2 or 3 day event. So
Yeah.
that was kind of my first official sales training. Kind of built off like what I already knew and what kind of learned in 9 months at that point.
That's cool. Any takeaways from the training that you remember that you maybe still use or that's been part of your go-to?
Really, the structure, like the 9 innings, the structure, and not trying to do everything all at once, right? Like
Mhm.
there's a process to this, there's steps to this. Don't try to go in for the kill on the first freaking date. Follow this very methodical process, and it usually works out, right? If you follow the process. In my opinion, the way it's worked out for me and the industry that I've been in, it is a process. So trying to be structured with it and not, oh, I gotta do this, this, and that all at once, it kind of just, sets yourself up for failure.
Yeah, I think door-to-door roofing sales is definitely different than commercial sales.
Yeah, it is. It's like a different animal, right? And I know a lot of residential guys, including myself, that like try to make their way into the commercial and like they usually find success, but it takes time because it's like different animal, it's not, there's no longer feelings. It's not somebody's house. It's like, hey, I have a leak in my building and it's affecting my operations, right? And I can't make any money. Please come out here and fix this.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So you've been in commercial sales, you like it better than residential?
100%.
Got it. And
100%.
why do you like it better for you? And maybe why would somebody maybe like residential better than commercial? Like, do you feel like do you think that the commercial is actually better for everyone or just better for certain people, including you? What do you think about that?
That's a good question. I would check the conservative part and say it's better for people like me that appreciate trying to be a technical guy, right?
Okay.
And not so, hey, you need to do this because, your house is gonna leak, right? It's more of hey, you need to do this solution or you're gonna continue to have issues. You're gonna continue having water entry into your building and it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse. Explaining that to somebody that actually owns a building or manages the building, that's their job is to manage the building. It goes a lot longer way, and they appreciate the technicality of this guy understands what he's talking about. They're backed by a company that have a lot of resources, and I feel like if I go with these people, I'm making a good decision, not for just myself, but for the building, right? Like, which is essentially who we're dealing with is property managers, owner occupied buildings, facility guys and whatnot. That line of work is already chaotic as is. The last thing they need is someone getting hurt or a machinery getting damaged. So I think that's why I appreciate it a little bit more. I try to be a technical guy that really understands what he's talking about and like, hey, you can't essentially do it like this because this will happen, right?
Mhm.
That's kind of why I like it a lot more. And it's more transactional, right? It's not as much of someone, like I said earlier, it's not someone's home.
You're saying it's
It's like,
less
listen,
emotional, you mean?
yeah, it's correct. Yeah. It's less emotional. It's like, hey, I have an issue, I need to fix it. What can I do and what can I not do? Right. It really my job at the end of the day is to make the property manager or the facility manager look like a hero, right? Because that's their job to manage the building. And so I think I do a great job at doing that, right? I weigh out all the options and tell them like, hey, this is like I said, this is what you can do and this is what you can do. And this is why you can't do the way we're talking about, more or less.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you're in a spot where you don't necessarily have to find your own appointments and find your own leads. They're they're coming to you because you guys have a great brand and you have existing accounts that you're taking over or you're managing.
Yeah, so Chamberlain's been in business for 128 years this year, actually. So I mean, there's people that I deal with. They're like, yeah, I used to see those trucks when I was a kid, like just
That's
roaming
cool.
the city. So the culture here is really rich, and we're fortunate enough to be, very well known. So we do get a lot of opportunities thrown our way, a lot of repeat customers that have been using us for over 30 years. So it's more of a familiar face that they want to deal with, and they know like, hey, Chamberlain's going to take care of me. There is a mix of both though, right? Like clearly leads don't always come in, right? So, you're eating dry, you're not selling, you're not eating. So, you got to start kicking up the prospecting, and it's
How do
really
you go
easy
about
though.
doing that? How do you go about
Trade
prospecting?
shows, I mean, there's trade shows every single week. There's always
Really?
events. Yeah, there's always events with certain associations like
OMA, IFMA, all that type of stuff?
all of them, man. And there's like hospital associations. It's just never ending. Honestly, that's why we have BDs that do what they do because all they
Yeah.
do is that, right? And they go out to make sure that these
But
people are
you'll get
aware
when
of,
you're
hey, these.
hungry, you'll go yourself and just go meet them.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's in my blood, right? That's where I started, right? I mean, I used to door knock 100% consistently. It's in my DNA, it's in my blood. I mean, if I have to, I will, right? If it's dry.
Yeah, yeah. Love it. All right, so, let's do a role play.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about a
Shit, you're
scenario
getting me,
that,
Ryan. You're getting me. You're getting me.
let's talk about a scenario. By the way, this has been great. Thanks for, sharing all your insights, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, can you share any stats on your, sales, performance or success in commercial since, you've been doing this, and anything you could share?
Yeah, so 2022 was kind of a wash for me. I joined pretty late, and I really was just trying to be a sponge. Those first few months at commercial, the transition from residential to commercial was like it's a growing pain for sure, and it's a learning curve. So sold a few thousand in 2022. 2023 was $1 million producer barely, and then 24 was multi-million dollar producer,
This
and
is
then this
all
year
only in
20
service.
service. Yep.
That's legit.
Yeah. No, I've been fortunate. I've been blessed, and yeah, can't complain.
I mean, if you're doing 1,000,000 with 1 rep or 2, just service, that's legit, and your margins, I mean, I'm not gonna ask you your margins on this, but typically they're
Service margins are great, right?
yeah,
It's
they're great.
not it's this weird, I don't wanna say weird, it's a gray area in the roofing and waterproofing industry because you have the new construction aspect, and then you have, like, the large remedial projects of reroof, and then you have this service division that, like, kinda lies in the middle, right? And it's, like, the day-to-day, all small repairs, big repairs, coatings, and so, yeah, you're right, the margins are just a lot better, right? You're not having to compete with, like, 500 other contractors to get win on with the GC or anything like that. It's relationship based, and usually the margins are most of the time anywhere between 45 to 60, sometimes even 70%. So it
Yeah.
just it
I
just
know
depends.
Houston's, kind of notoriously a very competitive market with lower margins than some other markets. It's just I think everybody's just really competitive. I think Houston, I've heard that. So, but yeah, in some markets you got 75, 80% margins,
Yeah,
but
just I mean
companies.
the yeah, no, Houston is competitive. It keeps getting competitive, more and more competitive. Like there's always gonna be rising players, rising stars, and there's a lot of pie to be eaten. So I think just the relationship based and like, hey, knowing what you're doing and then standing behind your work goes a long way.
It's good, man. All right, so let's talk about a scenario that would benefit the group. So, all right, you're getting hungry. All right, you're at a show. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
What, are you usually working the booth, or you like walking the halls? When do you interact with people? Say it's a
Good
cocktail
question. It's
hour.
usually both. It's usually both, right? Like you get kind of bored at the booth. Some people they just come by and take your
All right, so
stuff and
look,
probably
look,
look
look.
at you weird. Yeah,
I'm the hottest girl in the room, right? I got not
dude. I hope
literally,
my
but like
fiance doesn't watch this, man.
not literally. Like I'm the biggest prospect. Like I have more buildings, and you haven't started working with us yet. They've been working with your competitor. Sound good?
Okay.
Like you're like, all right, here we go. Everyone's watching this person. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. I'm at this networking event.
Okay. You come to my booth, or that's coming to you.
Since it's like in the evening after this expo floor hours, and we're walking around. It's like it's a cocktail hour or something.
Okay. Hey, is your name Ryan?
Yes. Who are
Hey,
you?
Ryan. My name's Nate. I work with Chamberlin Roofing and Waterproofing. I wanted to come by and introduce myself. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you heard of us, but I wanted to just come up and personally meet you.
Yeah, I've heard of you guys. Nice to meet you, Nate.
Yeah, no, like I said, just wanted to come by and introduce ourselves. I know you guys work for ABC Property Management.
Mhm.
Um, I'm sure you guys get a lot of people that come up to you every now and then and try to pitch their services. I just want to let you know that, hey, we're here if you ever need us. Just want to throw my name in the hat. If you ever want a second or a third opinion, regardless if you go with us or not, I just want to be that guy that can help you make a good decision, and not make a bad decision.
Okay.
Do you usually come to these events or
Yeah, I come pretty regularly. Yeah, this is our favorite one for sure.
okay, what do you like about it?
Yeah, it's just seems like it's the most the most resources. They really try to bring the most to us as property managers to help us be educated and well informed and best resource with all the right vendors and things like that.
Do you typically the vendors you use, are they come to these events or do you try to stay away
Yeah, we
from
have a
these?
we have a couple that we use that are here. Yep.
Okay. Are you happy with them?
Actually, I'm happy with them. Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. No, that's fair. There's a lot of good contractors out here, especially if they come to these events, they're usually touted for.
I'm perfect
Well, hey
though.
man, I got one. Yeah, no, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Like I said, the second something goes wrong with the vendors that you like, apparently, feel free to give me a shout. And we're here always 24/7.
Yeah, I mean there's an issue right now with one that hasn't been addressed actually.
What's going on?
Yeah, so we've been hiring, we hired this group, we got them through our vendor application.
Brian, I thought you were happy with them.
I said I was pretty happy with them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
pretty happy.
I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Yeah, they're just not communicating like in their reports what they see and what they fixed, and and then therefore when we've had reoccurring issues, so they just sent us a bill and said it's done, but we don't really know what was in the scope originally. So they came highly recommended, but it hasn't been an awesome experience. The other group that we do like is they just can't hit everything. They have
Certainly.
only so much bandwidth. Yeah, seems like.
Oh yeah, I get it. Houston's a busy market. We're busy as well. Would you be open to giving us a shot and just at least get our eyes on this, and maybe we can help steer you in the right direction?
Yeah, I can let you guys have a look at it.
Yeah, let's just start with getting our eyes on it. We can kind of tell you what's happening, kind of advise you to make a certain pivot. If we can help you, we will. But we have a lot of resources here at Chamberlain. We, like I said, we've been in business for 128 years, so we have a lot of people here at our office that, hey, if I don't know the answer, somebody here will.
Cool. All right, sweet. Nice job, man. I have a ton of feedback on the role play, but we can I'm not gonna air it out on the podcast. Just kidding. Good job. Good job.
No, thanks, man.
Yeah. So, guys, listening to this, biggest takeaways for you is if you want to get into commercial, there is a learning curve. You got to be patient. It's less emotional, but you still need to be honest and aware enough technically, and then aware enough of their business operation to have blunt conversations about the consequences of whether they take care of it, do it right the first time, or delay it, or not. I think the right people are relational. They focus on standing behind their work. They do a good job. They're consistent. I mean, it helps a ton if you have a great business like Chamberlain with you. That's huge. But if you're starting from nothing, just go. Got to do good work. You got to build a good relationship with the market. So Now you sound like you've done a great job, man. I mean, doing a couple of million in service alone is nothing to be embarrassed about. I remember in South Florida when I was a part of Best Roofing. So hasn't been in business that long, but pretty big, sizable regional player in the South Florida market. I think the top guy was doing like three and a half in service, which was like he was that guy that everybody was like, "Yep, such and such is the king." So to do two, is fantastic. So, and you're only 26 years old, man. What's going to be like in 5 years? You never know.
Who knows, man? I don't know. I'm just riding this wave until God doesn't want me to anymore.
It's a good answer, man. And you'll be faithful and trust him along the way the whole time. So it's been a pleasure having you, Nate. Yeah, I hope some folks out here can get a lot of value from it. If anybody wants to connect with you, brother, and just like be in touch and bend your ear or whatever, how can they reach you?
LinkedIn. Haven't been as active as I want to. I've been extremely busy, but I'm always posting stuff on there on LinkedIn. Always just posting some educational posts, sometimes funny posts. But LinkedIn, Nate Adame. I'm not sure if my name will pop up. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Yeah, that's probably the best way to get at me.
Solid. Cool. Well, hey everybody, thank you. If you enjoyed the podcast, share it. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll put this probably on YouTube as well. So if you're seeing it on YouTube, what's up? But Nate, thanks so much, man. Let's hang out here for a sec, and we'll get this thing closed up.
All right.